Have you ever wondered what it's like to investigate a haunted house? Meet Jack. He's not your average investigator. He's got a keen eye for detail, a cool head, and a healthy dose of skepticism. His job? Taking on the odd cases that others shy away from. It's just another day when a distressed call comes in. A family living in an old rundown house is terrified. They speak of chilling occurrences, of things that go bump in the night, of an eerie presence that they can't shake off. They're convinced their home is haunted. Jack listens, his interest piqued. Haunted houses aren't exactly his specialty, but he's never been one to back down from a mystery. His mind buzzes with questions. What's really happening in that old house? Is there a logical explanation, or has he finally stumbled upon the supernatural? With a skeptical mind and an investigator's curiosity, Jack decides to take the case. What would you do if you were faced with flickering lights, creaky floors, and ghostly apparitions in a supposedly haunted house? Picture yourself in the shoes of our protagonist, Jack. A diligent investigator, Jack is no stranger to the odd and unexplainable. But this house, with its eerie ambiance, is something else entirely. As he steps into the gloomy interior, the house seems to breathe with a life of its own. The old wooden floors creak beneath his feet, echoing through the silent halls. Flickering lights cast long, menacing shadows that dance upon the walls, creating a chilling spectacle. The air is heavy, filled with an electric charge that sends a shiver down Jack's spine. An investigator's life is never short of surprises. And this house, with its haunted reputation, certainly delivers. Jack is soon confronted with the inexplicable. Ghostly apparitions appear, fleeting and ethereal. A spectral figure glides past him, its hollow eyes meeting his. A child's laughter echoes from nowhere, bouncing off the decaying walls. The temperature drops inexplicably, a frosty chill creeping into his bones. All these classic horror elements come to life, their intensity escalating with each passing second. The haunting becomes a symphony of the supernatural, each note striking fear into the heart of even the bravest souls. It's a test of nerves, a dance with the unknown. But Jack is not one to back down. His heart pounds in his chest, but his mind remains sharp. He observes, analyzes, questions. His skepticism, his rationality, they're his armor against the terror surrounding him. And it's this armor that starts to reveal cracks in the haunting facade. Objects that seem to move on their own show signs of human interference. The spectral whispers, upon closer listening, sound suspiciously manufactured. The haunting, as terrifying as it might seem, starts to appear less supernatural and more human. But Jack is no ordinary man. He begins to notice inconsistencies. His logical mind begins to untangle the web of spectral deceit, leading him closer to the truth hidden within the haunted walls. What if the haunting isn't supernatural but rather a human-made ruse? Jack pondered, his mind buzzing with possibilities. He was a man of reason, not easily swayed by tales of the supernatural. The inconsistencies he observed around the house had sparked a fire in his rational mind, leading him to question the supposed haunting. Driven by his undying curiosity and skepticism, Jack dove into the house's history like an archaeologist unearthing an ancient civilization. He scoured old records, newspaper clippings, and local legends, seeking any clue that might shed light on the eerie occurrences. In the midst of his research, Jack stumbled upon a captivating tale. The house, it seemed, was rumored to sit atop a legendary treasure, buried deep beneath its foundations. A fortune worth millions, lost to time and forgotten by all, except for a few avid treasure hunters. Suddenly, like the flick of a switch, everything fell into place. The haunting wasn't a manifestation of the supernatural, but rather a grand deception. A ruse, orchestrated by a group of cunning criminals. What happens when a skeptic confronts deceitful criminals in a haunted house? Imagine this. Our protagonist, Jack, equipped with nothing more than his wit and his unyielding pursuit of the truth, standing face to face with the criminals who had turned this once peaceful home into a house of horrors. The tension in the room is palpable. Jack's eyes are steely, his resolve unwavering. He knows he's got them cornered, and he's ready to expose their charade. "Got you," he says, his voice a low growl, dripping with determination. He's pieced together the puzzle, seen through the smoke and mirrors, and now he's ready to play his trump card. With a swift motion, Jack pulls out the records he'd unearthed, the irrefutable proof of the treasure buried beneath their feet. The criminals' eyes widen as they realize their game is up. Jack's voice echoes through the room as he reveals their true motives to the authorities listening in remotely. But the criminals aren't about to go down without a fight. As Jack finishes his damning revelation, they make a dash for it, leading to a thrilling chase through the labyrinthine corridors of the house. Picture this. Jack, the rational investigator, darting through the creaky, shadowy hallways, hot on the heels of the criminals. The house, once a stage for manufactured horrors, now plays host to a very real and dangerous game of cat and mouse. As they weave through the house, Jack's knowledge of the haunting's inconsistencies gives him the upper hand. He anticipates their moves, corners them at every turn. The chase is a dance, a battle of wits, a showdown between truth and deceit. But Jack is relentless. He matches their every move, predicts their every turn. His heart pounds in his chest, adrenaline coursing through his veins. He's not just chasing the criminals now, he's chasing justice. In a final, climactic moment, Jack corners the criminals in the very heart of the house. The standoff is tense, the air thick with anticipation. The criminals, cornered and desperate, have nowhere left to run. And then, in a flash, it's over. The authorities storm the house, apprehending the criminals and bringing an end to the haunting hoax. Jack, the skeptic, the investigator, the hero of our story, emerges victorious. He has faced the unknown, challenged the supernatural, and in the end, he has uncovered the truth. Justice is served, and the criminal's plan is thwarted. Jack stands tall, his mission accomplished. He's not just solved the case, he's restored peace to the house and its residents. He's proven that even in the face of fear, the truth will always prevail. In this haunted house, Jack has confronted more than just criminals. He's confronted fear, deceit, and the unknown. And he's come out on top, because in the end, no ghost, no ghoul, no criminal can stand in the way of truth and justice. What's left to do when the haunting hoax is exposed and the criminals apprehended? As the dust settles and the sirens of the approaching police cars grow louder, Jack steps back and takes a moment to reflect on the case that had consumed him. The haunted house, the chilling apparitions, the whispers in the dark, all were but figments of a grand illusion, a ruse crafted with such meticulous detail that it almost had him fooled, almost. In the quiet aftermath, he feels a sense of satisfaction, a job well done. He had taken on an ordinary case, expecting nothing more than the usual oddities, but as he delved deeper, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, revealing a plot thicker than the dense fog that had enveloped the house on his first visit. A plot that was far from supernatural, yet shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The residents, who had been living in fear of the unknown, can now return home. Their house, once a place of dread, is now just a house again, its eerie silence replaced with the comforting hum of everyday life. The treasure, a legendary fortune rumored to be hidden beneath the house, remains safely concealed. Its secrets, guarded by the walls of the old house, continue to fuel local folklore, adding a dash of mystery to an otherwise ordinary town. But for Jack, this case was more than just another job. It was a reminder of why he does what he does. A reminder that fear often lies in the unknown, and that the truth, no matter how deeply buried, always finds a way to surface. It was a test of his wits, his courage, and his resolve. And as always, he rose to the occasion, proving once again that he was more than just an investigator. He was a seeker of truth, a beacon of light in the darkness. As Jack leaves the house behind, he smiles, a symbol of triumph over the darkness of deception. His shadow stretches out before him, a testament to his victory, a tale of a haunting hoax unraveled and a mystery solved. The sun sets, casting a warm glow on the old house, as if acknowledging Jack's victory. And as he walks away, he can't help but feel a sense of contentment. After all, it's not every day that you get to debunk a haunting hoax, outwit a group of criminals, and save a town from its own ghost story.